Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. This now Shilon coming to you now from the USA. Um, as usual, uh, we go greatly appreciate we listeners them for participate, make whatever contributions. When I say contribution of ideas, um, no matter whether by question or not for send comments them in or not for make call and make comments if you disagree or if you are add to what we are saying at the show. Today, we're supposed to get a guest by the name of Mr. Arun Zubairu. He's not on board yet, but he should be here. And also, my co-host, Ms. Fadima, will likely be here. But so um, I hope and I could look forward to listening to what you get for say. Also, usually we can try for make una know. Say with the one we're broadcasting live. We're broadcasting is live, meaning it's you get them live as they come. So when you call questions and ask questions, you say now live people in the area, and with the broadcast worldwide. So for one hour familiar with the show, people and they call from all over the world. From Canada, from the US, from Australia, from Turkey, from England, from Sierra Leone, from other parts of the world. So what the people they listen to, which we get for say. I don't say primarily, or we talk mostly about Salone, but we on broadcasting is mostly what we feel say we for do as a people of that country for help for bring that country in line. Meaning we want for be able for suggest ideas, get commitments, and make whatever little contribution we can make in terms of getting the country back to its old glory. This, as we always say, this was the leading country. Now, Africa, for the British, as where they made test everything before they make other countries then get them. From airfield to train to double-decker bus to university, Salone be first. Those days have gone, but we can reclaim them if we get some understanding and appreciation for history and know that we not to people we intellectually are stupid, but we have become intellectually lazy, and so we just like for the talk, because not all go into politics, because we get this narrow view. And somebody like me are always suspicious of the one that we think say the only way they go up Salone, where they try for project. I don't think they believe that. But the one where the project say the best way they can Australian now for go into politics. The sooner you begin for say you want to go run for this, you want to go run for that, I for one get suspicious that now money you thereafter, now you say self-interest you thereafter. So you will get for proof to people like me for saying no, that the country interest you get at heart. So always we're going to talk about that. And we always the type for make una know, because election the kind next year. I want to not forget say when we elect anybody, when I stuck with that system or the government or that leadership day for 5 good years. 5 good years when I can cry all when I want, when I can complain all when I want. Nothing is going to change, because when you see them not head in one direction, nothing will change them. You see? So we, the little old we suspect, the little old nobody will lead us then, the little old nobody political parties them, some of we go to bring unto our attention for making a begin for learn and understand, say, get for vote a certain way, but you for vote a certain way. So But before I get into the meat or the nitty gritty of what we will talk about today, make I also remind you now about the numbers that are for reach we, because there are many instances where people are on for call, they may not know how for reach we. First and foremost, with the broadcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and I understand says we get an hour of Instagram. Okay, so then if you want to call where the show to go on right now, there are many numbers you can call. We'll get a toll-free number. We're now 1-866-944-7722. 1-866-944-7722. If you do call from United Kingdom, you can call plus the sign plus 44 20 80 89 14 55. Make a call in another form. Plus 44 20 80 89 14 55. If you call from Australia, plus 61 29 09 84 337. If you call from Australia, I repeat, it's plus 61 29 09 84 337. And if you call on WhatsApp, it could be 1-343 997 5828. 1-343 997 5828. So those are the numbers that when I will call if when I get question. We also can try for make when I understand, say, there are times where you might get for hold on, or if you call for ask a question or for make a comment, you may be held on the line for like 10, 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, depending on watching your number at the queue. So, because, we always tell people and say, we give you 3 minutes, 15 seconds. So, assuming that we get, for example, 6 callers, and you're number 6, okay, you go hold for almost 20 minutes before we'll get to you. But at the very least, 15 minutes. If every caller use up, then 3 minutes, 15 seconds. And there are times where people can even want to use more. So we just want to make you understand for say we'll go reach you. Once you don't call, if you get a patient for wait, we'll go get to you. But if we not get to you, it's not that we ignore your call. We're not able to get to you because other people there before you at the queue. Also, if we now notice, we extend tremendous courtesy to callers. So even if we're in the middle of commentary, as soon as we see people end up begin kind of the line, we can always try for suspend what you would say, forget to the callers them so they not go get frustrated just holding, And so that we just want to let people understand that for say, please now give and take now. That for say everybody is considered very important. And the other rule is, I get to remind people time and time again. We operate on the policy of mutual respect for each other. We, the host them, under no circumstance will we intentionally or deliberately try to be disrespectful to a caller. It will give you the utmost courtesy and respect, or due respect. We ask for the same thing towards where they do the broadcasting, and also to fellow callers, our listeners. Okay, so if somebody call and make a comment to which you disagree, you're not going to call and begin make disrespectful or derogatory statements about that person there. You can respectfully say, I disagree with them, and then state your own reason. Because we all know, say, we're all minds not plugged at the same socket. So reasonable men can differ. So we welcome differences of opinion. So just remember that. But we don't want to let people begin insult other people, call other people names, because in order to produce anything good, we want somebody who will make intellectual contribution to the broadcast, not to somebody who will just call people their names. So as long as we understand the basic rules, I think everything will be fine. I think we all will enjoy the show. I also indicate to Una before we start, and when we start, that a guest by the name of Mr. Harun Zubairu will be on board. So he is on board as I speak. So, Mr. Zubairu, if you don't mind, sir, you can just introduce yourself to the public, and then I will take over again and just tell them why you're here and what you have to say.
Thank you very much, Lawyer Shilon and VOS for all your contribution to the country. My name is Arun Oluwale Zubairu, a Freetonian and a Sierra Leonean. I intend for run for the mayor of Freetown, but currently we get an emergency, a crisis in our country. So I would like to talk about that today as we go along, and we will take questions and see how we will make a contribution to the country and resolve some of the issues them we they encounter in our country. These are other service to the country. So I look forward for talk to me found with them this evening.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Zubairu. Today we'll get some topics that we always can think are important. We get what we can normally call under the broad heading of human interest stories. That are like social activities then where they affect people, their lives, and the community. We can come up with 1 or 2 or 3 videos then and comment about certain things. Then we know say one big thing with the trend in our country. Now this proportional representation issue, because election become next year. And we here say the commissioner of election or the electoral commissioner say the president call him and the president tell him say the election will be based on proportional representation. So you get views coming from all angles. Some who are saying it's unconstitutional, we cannot get proportional representation. Some are saying it is. Some are saying the Constitution allowed that. Some where they say the Constitution don't allow that. And on and on and on. So we get that issue there. So we want to touch on that today, because we don't want to wait till the time come before we begin to talk about that. And now is the best time for talk about that. And then, of course, in the process, we can come up with other things, some side issues. Like, for instance, I think one topic, if we can able to get to that today, I want to address, or I want to bring up for people and for to think about. Now, the Freetown City Council, and they say for the upcoming election, again, I strongly believe, say, the Supreme Court, there are 2 things where I have been advocating, and I will continue to advocate until such time that we go get enough commitment to the rule of law. Now, this proportional representation, what would they talk about? Me, I'll take the view, say, now the Supreme Court of the country forget the last say. We can argue all we want, but now that make we get a Supreme Court, now that make we get a judiciary. I don't see anything going towards that direction there. Link with that, I also think, say, the Freetown City Council election, the Supreme Court should have some say so, not by the election itself, but the operation and procedure of the City Council. Because I am one person who thinks the Local Government Act is unconstitutional because it tramples on the authority given by the people, given by the Constitution to start with, and the authority of the people, because the council is an autonomy, it's a government all by itself, and you get one minister to whom a power has been delegated to override an elected body. I don't think that is proper law. I think there's something wrong with that, but we will get to that. So that said, I will ask, going back to the human interest story, I will ask Mr. The control room for just play one video for me concerning a young woman who was saying, so being accused of killing a young baby That is of concern to me, and I will tell you now why. Once we listen to the video, and then if Mr. Zubairu get any comment towards that, that will be fine. So I will ask the control room for play that video there for we.
Yes. Hey, madam. Hey, you need to talk to me. Sonia.
You need to talk. Now do my this way. Take soda.
Listen.
You need to talk now. Facebook.
Family, una push you. Una morning, una afternoon, una good evening. Una see this fine woman. Una see this fine woman, yeah? Na he go kill him pikin. He go kill him pikin because of Christmas. He say one go free to Christmas don't reach. December don't dey near. Him pikin may not disturb him.
3 months plus.
3 months plus, doll baby. This woman, how it snaps so heartless. You know, look like na him born the pikin. He dey na one village, Bama, that na Fala Wando. Oba Bama, Konta, we cross the water. Now this woman had day. Unasia, na iman dan dey so. He don't suffer the man for nothing. For nothing, he don't suffer the man. This law na no feel say na social media talk. Una look this woman be waiting up so. Na him for don't talk for himself, but he no agree. Na see the handcuff. To social media talk because like this, so some man go say na lie. Na social media. Na see how people en gather. If na lie they talk, one person go just stop me sef. I cross with the cross for go town. See, I can't even show the go town. Yana the water side, yana getting my ferry crossing. You don't tell anybody. Does he? Yeah.
The first thing that comes to mind, having lived in this country for a long time, knowing the little women know, there are a lot of things we in Africa will not understand. And I will hope sooner or later people and for bring up, I blame with professionals them, with doctors them. Well, of course, I can't even talk about mental health because we get way for show interest in that. Now, two things the woman not to say anything. I'm concerned that if they force them for say something, they might even force them for confess against your interest. From a legal standpoint, from the rule of law, immediately she should be provided counsel. Because this is an end situation we call for if you get a lawyer right from the get-go. Any confession and any lawyer will know what she did do. If this woman confessed to having committed what she's been accused of, their lawyer, if not, wait, the same thing applies back home. If a lawyer cannot in life, which I think the state should provide, this is not going to be a thing of whether suppress any confession. Because first of all, we want to know if they follow the guidelines in trying to extract confession from him, or whether she was coerced into making an expression against your interests. So purely from a legal standpoint, I'm concerned about that. I'm happy with the fact that she's been quiet. I hope she will maintain that. But when they kill in Pekin and they kill out soda, we want to know the forensic evidence, where they get and all that kind of thing. I'm saying this not because I have no soul. If we kill in Pekin, after all the circumstances, after the evidence, she may need to be punished. But I don't like the hype that the fact that they say this woman not killing Pekin, now then all of a sudden everybody turn against them. That's one. In fact, the irony about that is by my country when I talk so when I came to my district, there is a very popular case I don't refer to a long time ago, but I don't country. our country. Two, what people do not realize now we country, even some of who they not realize say women sometimes can go through what you call postpartum blues.
Postpartum.
Sometimes then they go through this mental process where they can get depressed, where they can become suicidal, where they can do things way extraordinary. This is not the effect of what postpartum blues. So the man they want to talk around now that video, they don't know much about that. Now we on job for educate them. Now the job of with doctors them back home for bring that up. I have been trying, and I will try for get hold of Dr. Fatou Sise, Fatou Fona, and her husband, then America doctors Naya, but and then they practice also back home. I think they practice in Atlanta. I will try for see if we can reach there, but I ask my co-host, Ms. Fadima, for see if we can track them down for address some of the issues concerning postmortem blues. And somebody like this, for instance, she cannot even be tried any trial if they put her on trial of anything, murder or whatever. If you now get an expert like a medical doctor for address the issue of postmortem blue, then inadequate representation of a lawyer, because you therefore introduce evidence to that effect if that's what she's suffering from. We don't know. She may be suffering from it, So I felt I should just bring this to the attention. A lot of times I push a lot of things at the direction of the lawyers and back home, because lawyers and back home are not exposed to a lot of theories, legal theories. Sometimes because we say we get brilliant guys them, so therefore they look forward for handling case here for sure they know how, and let we know say people are being treated fairly even if they get money, if they don't get money. So I think say this is an interesting case. Now, Mr. Zuberu, I think say you may have some comments for make because you're in the health business. So please feel free.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, very well.
Good. It brings chill to me for no say that Pikin don't die. It is painful for see Pikin die like that. Just like we say, Lawyer Shilon, first we get for educate some of we man them, we people them, the journalists them, the lawyers them, people within that line of professionalism that we can't give. So within that 3 month stay of woman after they born Pikin, they get what they call postpartum depression. They can be suicidal, they can feel worthlessness, they can feel depressed, then they can take time for their own Pikin them. If they're not addressed by the doctors, their woman and they can kill themselves. They can kill them Pikin. I'm not saying that happen, but they have the tendency for that to happen to that woman day. It is sad way today we country day where the basic things the way we for know we don't know them. And how they put that woman in a chain, that's a crime against humanity. No human being should be treated as such. Now, Shilon, we get for talk about the law in our country. People are not to take the law into their hands. I've seen I make a day into this mental illness problem because we see people and they take people and just like this woman. If you not take time, they go beat until they kill them. We don't see people who get mental problem, they go beat until they kill them. I go give a personal story now. Me Arun Zubayu na me gani na imen me na kisi. Me gani can America during the war I go back. I get urinary tract infection. When an older person gets a urinary tract infection, they talk erratically. They give reference what if we don't know back in the day. They say me granny they prove which. This not the thing. Then begin talk but me granny remind me. The one when I for call me mama and me papa me everything. I think like the United States, and they call and say it don't prove which. They begin sing Panam. Say that mommy they die. We need education. We need the media. We need people holding at the social media and when they win activists them for begin fight for people. And we see when they beat somebody like Blacker because it talk against a political party where they in power. We see this constantly they happen and we need for address them. Yes, probably the woman want go for Christmas. Wait till they go to a Freetown? God knows if that not is say. But we no get no evidence that the woman say am. And then they punish that woman then. May the soul of that little one rest in peace. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. As a follow-up to that, to what Mr. Zubairu just said, this is the thing, and I appeal to the lawyers then back home. Make them follow the footstep of a lawyer, the late T.S. Johnson. And we need first I talk to the big-time lawyers in the country. The nobility of the profession has a lot to do with its concern for humanity and for the good of society. I can always cite America as the best example. And America is what America is today because there were lawyers, including President Lincoln, President Adams, we stood for the rights of certain people. And let me just use one history. When we get December Pierre, a movie we get for deal with slavery and the return of certain people and back from the United States to Sierra Leone, where Saint Pierre eventually was arrested in case go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, President Adams ended up arguing in case of the Supreme Court for free, for say he was a free man and he should be let go. So I say this because with profession back home, that profession, they can never be noble until people begin to understand that no matter how successful you get, you must take as part of your calling for represent the weak, the one way they've forgotten. So we'll get some famous lawyers in Sierra Leone, but we're not the famous people and they represent. I will hope they will come around where they will begin take some of them, then use their talent for help the ordinary person, like a woman like this. I always cite the case of because this woman they say come out now some village back of Bamakonta when I came to my district there. So then they bring to mind the Kurubale case. A lot of them will be too young for know much about the Kurubale case. But Kurubale, in a nutshell, was a diamond dealer in the Bamakonta area in the 60s. And we beget a top-notch assistant commissioner of police where he killed in broad daylight in the presence of people. Na deep water key, because this Mr. Kurubale was being deported to the Gambia, and he claimed he was not a Gambian, that in Papa Komo Gambia, but in a Salone in Komot, a Salone born. But for some reason they insisted and go deport him, Sierra Leone, and he was a fairly successful diamond dealer na that area there by the Bamakonta area there na Kenema district. So at one time, this police chief, Wenen Grant, used to be OC in Kenema district. So when you're OC, in that place, then they are CPO. All the diamond dealers, they know you. All the money man, they know you. You know them all. So, and Sierra Leone used to have a system whereby they just put your name on a list and say you've been ordered to be deported. We're not getting no due process. You can't fit back. When I was growing up in the 60s, in the Albert Magai days, in particular, people were being given 24-hour notice for left the country. 24 hours. Country where you're there for years. They say you for left in 24 hours. And some of these people are people that will be they don't married, they don't born Pekin, then they in Australia for 20 or more years. So it became a pattern. So if you're a successful businessman with foreign background, then you can just go and conspire against you, put your name on a deportation list. Now you go, so you left all your property you don't work for all these years. And we need to look back at internet. Imagine like who were in a foreign country. Some of who would live here for a long time. Even if you're not living here for a long time. Just imagine if you don't buy house, you get car, you don't marry, you get picking in a college, a school. All of a sudden, America say, well, buddy, you got to get out of here by tomorrow in 24 hours. You say, what you do? Well, we don't know. We'll just get order for deport you. This is true story about Sierra Leone. I can give you names of people who were deported under such circumstance. Okay? 24 hours, you're gone. And then it became a pattern whereby people in high places were conspiring or deport wealthy foreign people, then so they would take over their property. This actually happened in Sierra Leone. So Kurubale happened to have fallen into that category. He was a successful diamond dealer. And I mentioned Kurubale not for the story itself, because of the lawyer T.S. Johnson. So Kurubale was arrested, taken from Bamakonta, brought to Freetown, then kept on Apademba Road. They tried for reach O.C. Grant. He was popularly known as O.C. Grant. So he said, O.C. Grant, I don't know what you do. They try to deport me. Please help me because, me and you are friends. O.C. Grant said, no worry. I did it for you. Knowing the whole, O.C. Grant was, in fact, behind, one of the people over there behind Mr. Kurubale in deportation. So on the day of Mr. Kurubale in deportation, because in those days, they put you in a ship in broad daylight about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then pull him from the cell will be there. They handcuff him, carry him go na deep water key. At that point, when they take the handcuff off, you see O.C. Grant team up there. O.C. Grant, they tell the people, when I put her inside the ship, let it go. Mr. Kurubale lost it. He just lost his mind. It just so happened there was an iron bar within a grande. He pick him, then he beats O.C. Grant to death with that. Right in the presence of people. He kill him. So when that happened, there was this uproar about this foreigner don't kill a top police officer because it never ever happened in Sierra Leone. No lawyer in Sierra Leone wanted to take the case. They were even trying for defend them. They were even trying for get a lawyer in England for represent him because now be a capital case, so he needed to be represented. Now T.S. Johnson grabbed. He said, me go take him. And remember now, O.C. Grant a Creole, T.S. Johnson a Creole. But T.S. Johnson get a calling for the profession. He said, I will represent this man. We don't need lawyer for come to England for represent him. I will do him for free. And he did. And he represented him ably. And at the end of the day, when the dust settled down, Kurubale was found guilty not of murder, but of manslaughter. And he do about 8.5 years, then he was released. For all I know, he may still be alive in Sierra Leone. But we have not seen example of that kind in the country. And the trend continue, not to see lawyers then rise to the occasion for do something for the poor. So for a woman like this, and this happen all over the country, they appeal to the lawyers in Sierra Leone. Rise to the occasion. Make it a noble profession. Not only this woman, but people like her who fall in a category. Make the law protect them equally like anybody else. So I appeal to the legal profession for that because that woman, they need representation. There is a whole lot package in that circumstance. And we therefore begin encourage we attorneys general them. Then they appoint our country, where themselves seem to be a little bit disappointing in the way that they look at justice. Because, and the chief of police, they need for they go out. That's another thing we learn in America here. The police chief, the AG, we don't get for sit down on a high places, on a high office. Once in a while, when I go out to the public, go to secondary schools, go to communities, and try to talk to the people. The AG can do that. The police chief can do that. Tell people they're not take matters into their hands. If somebody commits a crime, yeah, when I can detain them until authorities then come, but don't beat him. Don't beat him up. Don't put your hand per him. Because the moment you do that, Andy, then you don't accuse the man of a crime. You don't put him on trial. You don't find him guilty. Then you lash out punishments. You've done everything, so there's no point in him going through any trial anymore. So, but now the AG and the police chief, these are the two top law enforcement officers in the country. Sometimes they don't seem to know their roles, because I know they talk about the current AG. It seems to be the trend for all AG. I don't know of any attorney general in Sierra Leone where one day don't take the time, go talk to community, go talk to high school picking them, go talk to university picking them, or students there. So these are things we learn in America. These are ideas you get for share with people. Now, so for begin for discourage them, not for just begin arrest people them, go lock them up, like waiting Chief Sovula do with that musician. IEG or whatever his name was. You arrest the person. That's such a flagrant violation of the person in civil right. You arrest them when a court in here, when I go lock them up, then you get a judge who was refusing bail, and then give the people a speedy trial. There's a whole lot wrong with the country, and the lawyers, they need to put them foot down. When I make the Supreme Court sit down idle, there are a lot of cases that could be going there, challenging issues. So I'm bringing up all of this, and because so me are concerned, the lawyers then get a role for play, and for make that profession they become the new profession that it once used to be. We need to make sure we begin to represent the poor and the forgotten. So that said, Ms. Fadima is also on board. Ms. Fadima, we were talking about the young lady who played the video. I don't know whether you see him. If you did, if you can comment, if you get any comment before we move forward.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sheila. And to Mr. Zubaru, thank you for being on our platform again for help try for putting how we go able for fix we country. And to the viewers family, I say thank you. And today is the 13th of November 2022, and we're there again as always. I just want to say thank you to the viewers on YouTube and Facebook. We're on the cam and Twitter. We're on the cam every week. For can join me for love more out for push Salone before. I saw that video, Mr. Shillon, and I understand that woman in pain. I heard for her. To me, where I see him, she was confused. I know say Boko people don't see him. I saw a woman that was lost, that was not even present in waiting they go on. And I made an audio the other night, I saw it, and I made this audio and talking about postpartum blues and postpartum depression. When a woman that we don't know, a lot of us don't have knowledge, especially the people in the remote areas of Sierra Leone. We don't have the knowledge. We don't have the understanding. We don't know. And we were they're not able to do that, and it's a sad moment when I see poor woman, and I ask the question, whose mommy go there for 9 months, it taught him pikina in Beles, it suffer all that suffer where it suffer for 9 months, and he want for killing pikin. Only a mommy way they know they do that. And in psychology, you get a thing what they call postpartum blues and postpartum depression. Postpartum blues, the first 1-2 weeks of birth, when a woman gives birth to a child, don't change, your situation don't change. You have a child you get speaking for what you get for look, your life don't change, you're not able to sleep, you financial, the man not they help, where they begin to wake in the nets, now the mama no more they wake and all them kind of thing in the day. So that is what the woman goes through emotionally. Normally, it come back in 2 weeks, it can go away, the blues go away. But unfortunately, some women, then the blues not go away. And if it go untreated, it becomes a postpartum depression. and it carries on and carries on. And this baby is only 3 months old. This wife is a young wife. We don't know her situation in situation where they're in a marriage. We don't know the life where it gets. We don't know the things that she's going through. We don't know if he inherits mental health from his family. But it can be true, say, yes, the woman see and say, this speaking is an obstacle. And because of that when you born a woman, after you give birth, you get for pull you placenta. When you birth your placenta, your estrogen and progesterone level, they go down. And when they go down, you're in that mood of sadness. You become super sad. Because you don't get sometimes, you know, they eat right, you don't get the right diet for help you for boost, then you condition around you, you tired, and you wondering. So you can see that picking there as an obstacle. It slow you down, it stop you. Because she did not get the help. That's why in we culture, long term and Freetown, I don't know if they do it now, their mommy, their auntie, them, their what they call them, it can't for help the Combra for the Combra go able to sleep. Because those are the reasons why they do those things long time ago. Because it's overwhelming, it's thing, this is a life. Sometimes you see yourself, am I adequate to take care of this life? This life depends on me, it's a burden. And when you don't have the help, the village to help you for raise the child, it can happen to many women have done this in America that have gone untreated. We don't kill them again. One big one where they happened, she put all her kids in the bathtub. They don't care and go to jail. They put her in a mental institution because she's crazy. Because he need help. Because she started hallucinating and things they happen, and she hears voices, all that stuff, then they become sadness. So we don't understand mental health. And mental health is real. Many factors of life, they put we to mental health. And if it's gone untreated, it's going to push us over the edge. And me little bit of psychology that I know, that I learned in school, that the degree I get in school, and no say, from afar, I could say, this is 90% maybe of why she did what she did. But we don't know that. But we put her out there, we're shaming her, we're putting more thing on her, more stuff on her, we're not going to make it even get better, it will get worse. And then the end, what will they do? They can't go to jail, we go lock her up, then it becomes useless for the rest of your life. But we don't have the facilities. Mental health, so many things are going on in our society. The drugs, the suicide, the murder, the kind of, even the parents. We the parents, we are broken ourselves. If we are broken, we're not able to help who picking them. We're not able to save who picking them. Because we save get something, and because the society not understand mental health, we frown upon mental health. And that's why we get what we get. So this is a serious business. And a group of us, together with Salone for one, then they come up now Maryland, whoever is in the DMV area, December 3rd, they're going to do a thing for try for educate and try for bring awareness to mental health and try for explain. And I say it as a person that is going through it. It's a daily struggle that I go through what I go through. It takes medication and the grace of God for keep me sane. Because I was diagnosed with all kind of mental stuff. My body was breaking down and all that kind of stuff. It took the grace of God. I would have been crazy because we feel say Chris man no more. They work on a treat pulling clothes. Then they say you Chris. No, many other things. Chemical imbalance. So it is sad, but we don't know. We don't have knowledge, and people are not to go around for teach the people. Then the remote people they've forgotten about. Make a pass them back to you, and we get a guest. They'll give the guest a chance. I know say maybe you don't talk on that and later to me. But mental health is the real thing. They go on a week.
If I can make a quick follow-up on that, because Mr. Zubaru mentioned in Granny, and then you talk about hallucination, Ms. Fadima, all of which, in fact, when Mr. Zubaru talk about in Granny, way back home, out of ignorance, we say the person they prove which. Where the person they actually hallucinate. Now, hallucination, because I worked in a mental hospital for 3 years in America. So I dealt with, in fact, I was mostly in the alcoholic ward, who sometimes go through extreme hallucination, particularly when they go through withdrawal. So I know how somebody can begin to talk crazy, Way to we anytime where you incoherent, you don't craze. But that knowledge here for begin for bring to people, make them begin get some understanding. But I not blame the ordinary people. We will know better. What would they talk so? I don't say if we talk to the ordinary people, then go like for you read that. So the disappointment is when you get the bookman, then we'll go back home. When we then put you in a position of power, like Minister of Health, Minister of Social Services, Minister of this, we for really think about the people then because we see things that happen all around we. We for care back with your knowledge. Because this is the good thing about America. You know the Canada, you just learn chemistry and get a degree in chemistry. Because there are subjects where you take in a school, where teach you about the overall surrounding of, I make you to take sociology, I make you to take sciences, I make you to take history.
A
Then they give you a
holistic
broad
approach. Yes, sir.
yes.
The holistic.
This is not the beauty of American education. So for the one that will not get and when they end up with the power for direct country, you see why we not to go front, we not to go forward because they not get the understanding, you know. But we need this. So like the young lady,
Mr. Sheila, I give Mr. Zubairu a question where one of the viewers they asked, let me give you Mr. Zubairu. They said this is why it's imperative, that's now at Tylo, this is why it's imperative for you in advanced countries to come back home and involve in national politics and affect the desired change. So we get the effect the desired change. And you have to go on for mayor. But then we know our politics is toxic, our country is toxic, and you're doing well in America, but you want to go do that sacrifice. How? Because to your mental health, it is, I don't know, how you the able for doing. Can you tell me? Because waiting at the thing where they push you for go into this arena that is so toxic, because our politics is so toxic right now. I don't even want to touch it because one another that is going for where we think about the people and the city where you say you want to be male. This is an epidemic right there. The drugs, the depression, the war, the overcrowding of the cities, the so. How you go able for adapt to that kind of situation there? Because I don't see myself putting myself in this arena for go inside this for try for go. I cannot do. My mental health will not allow me. I pass that question to you, sir.
Yeah, it's a service to our country, and Naomi could do them things there. So, and sometimes the little education, the blessing we God give, we at least we get a purchasing power, we get money for help with country, we get for game. But this is not a laudable question you ask also, and that make a glad where they are so today. Mental illness now a crisis now with country. So with population, we go say now 7.8 million people in the day. 10% of that population has mental illness. So 780,000 Sierra Leoneans today get mental from anxiety, depression, paranoia, confusion, hallucination, like we talked about. All of them today, they affect the country. So in a way, we as politicians, we want to come to the political arena. What are we bringing to the table? That's what we are asking the people who they want from Mayor of Freetown. The current Mayor, Madam Akisoya, and the other guy from the SLPP. There we not just go na tweet, we go give 10 Okada, go na church, we go give. Begin think about the people that you want to can serve. Give them what they need. Well, what do they suggest now? So, and not as much as me in the United States, I want to make some suggestions now. So, or what do they bring come at the table? I get people and friends they win and nurse practitioners them we don't already they na the psych profession already. We only get one doctor with to take care of their psychiatry patients today. Now he's almost 80 years old. But we get a solution because today, as me and the talk so today, we get people in Sierra Leone, they watch me. Somebody meets me now one business recently. I say something, I say yes. And they see you on VOS. People that don't already know we. they know what we can say. So what do they say? We they make people that we know directly for begin treat people via Zoom, the FaceTime or Skype. We begin treat them, and not only that, we go to Canada and Mexico, get them drugs then they like the Lexapro, the anxiety medication like Xanax and anything and they get them for a cheap price. We in Canada we country for that we able to help with people 60% of the population today are young people they are included in this. Not only that, we get to create a rehabilitation centers for them. We institution the also we call KCR today is not functioning. We chain them people and they sometimes then they beat them. Sometimes then they left them at treat for go dig and die in a treat from diseases like this. So what are they say? We as human beings, we as Sierra Leoneans, we need to come together and try to fight them things they are so. So that I will say for now, Madam Fadima.
Okay, Mr. Sheila, I don't know if you want to go ahead, but I just want to ask another question. Okay,
Yeah,
so they say, okay,
just quickly, Ms. Fadima, I just want to announce
yes,
to
sir.
the listeners them that the line is open. Please feel free to call in if you have any question, if you get any comment. I make I repeat the numbers then again. Toll-free number na 866-944-7722. The UK number na +42 2080891455. Australia +61 290984 and the WhatsApp number na 1-343-997-5828. Yeah, back to you, Ms. Fadima.
Yes, sir. For go back to this health, because I know so you're in the health field, you say you get nurse practitioners there, you get people there. When you go there and you go in groups go there all the time, but we fail it. Because group that they go in small group. What are you going to do for unite the Sierra Leoneans, the diaspora? Because diaspora gets a lot for offer Sierra Leone. But because of the barriers, because of the bureaucracy and the red tape and all the stuff and this dirty politics that what we live on, with people and continue for suffer. Because as they look at accidents, as they look at people, they watch people and they die. Motoka turn over then days here. Then they go some side. Nobody can perform CPR. Nobody knows how to stop the bleeding. Somebody is dying, somebody they lay down a road. The first thing when you do the combat life-saving stuff is try to stop the bleeding. Nobody knows that. All they do is stand there, videotaping, they die so. And people are bleeding, nobody not able for render for staying till help come. First of all, we don't have the help to come. With people that are dying at the road, dying at the streets, and the safety of our roads and streets, and Freetown, and I didn't get the bulk of the problem, the bulk of those problems, because we're uninformed. Waiting, because how you going to bring the diasporas together? Because you talk about your North West. A little hole in an ocean, a little drop in an ocean, and it's going to take a long time. If you want to see, Sierra Leoneans cannot work together. That is the attitude. If me not to me begin other person there, you try for sabotage your company we cannot work together. How will you unite us? How you go able to bring us together? Because that's me, I feel saying one of the biggest problem. You see Nigerians, they want to do stuff. The organizations come together and give power to one center government where they all go able. Well, we cannot do that. How would you able for people? Because this is madness. It's very. Sometimes I sit down and wonder how will we win when we are not together? How will we help our people when we're not together? How?
Madam Fadima, first, now the messenger and the message. When I talk about nurse practitioner, they are not going to stay in Sierra Leone. They're good dinner, so remotely like how they talk to you and talk to them patients they. I know people that we get a mental illness. As me, Harun Zubai, we don't see currently I'm a nurse system, colleague of mine, the only way that they function are when they take their medication in the morning. In fact, then they put a medication them from
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday medication them, and also then they take like whether or not the Prozac. Prozac first of all they talk like say Prozac you know for take and now they it's so forbidden for let anybody talk about Prozac. Or some people say, me, I'm anxious right now. I'm going to take me Xanax or me Adivan. I go take her before I begin be myself again. But then people and they what they talk about. So me, I know personal friends them way past 10 and close people to me. We go treat people remotely. Na Sierra Leone. Today when we talk, then go able to do them. And then medication and they look for the rampant. Now what can they so? Then plenty so. And then cheap. We get for able to come together if the person they come with the intention say now for help with country, for help with people and because we still could have been in this situation.
You hear me?
Yeah.
So now
Okay,
hear me
don't put,
so I get called.
we're not hearing better. You hear
Oh,
me?
you don't hear you. Oh my.
Can you hear him?
Oh, you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Right. What happened? Okay, we are not hearing. Okay, we are not hearing. I can't hear nothing.
Can you hear me? Miss Fatima, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Okay,
now. Can you hear me?
okay. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Mr. Zuberu, but we could see. I had put myself on mute accidentally. But along that side, okay, I would just want to make a comment, but let me give chance to a caller, then we'll go make a comment. I go make me comment after that. Hello, caller, what's your name? Which side you call from?
My name na Wombo, call from Maryland.
Okay.
Yes,
So
Okay.
sir.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yes, sir, go ahead. Yeah.
I just want to talk from what that woman we seen at YouTube where they killing again.
Uh-huh.
And to me, I mean, the you know, it look confusing. I don't even know if that woman do it because Africa business they just get then get different things there. Who knows if not set up that woman there? Because you know, if you don't suffer, you don't get that belly there. But and you just really late pay for killers. Something that person go put some people and he go to the and woman not defend himself because you don't know that rather put his and when the woman talk, the woman snap at tear. You know like so guilty, but he not going to defend himself. And that people not there. And man self, I don't know. Something's wrong about the man self. But the way the man snap near the talk, I don't see people say that woman is guilty. And even if it's guilty, it takes something in somebody for me to kill him again. Something must happen in his head. Something must happen. Woman for him again, we don't suffer for him again. You know, easy let's say killer. If you kill her, it's wisdom, one a mental wisdom. You know, easy made do. But then you can see like Africa, if you trap anything the government take power, they forget the agenda there when they can't forget operator. You play the campaign and you plan to say a priority na mental health I can focus on. Forget about unity, people unite or want to unite towards you know ever be unite. We all in America as yourself, we not unite, we divide, but still things can go on well. So not for wait for say until we unite. You, the government, you go on with the agenda. As long as it's a good agenda, if you don't like a step, just go ahead with that. When you do one, wait them for campaign, people must see you goodness what you don't do. No wait for the past to unite or no wait until everybody elect you or everybody support you. No. Then maybe they say now the government to get you 4 years or get you 5 years. Go on with your agenda. You know, and majority like administrative for SFP. SFP majority of them na JC na overseas people. So then they don't know well and what na good thing. People will take more justice than in hand na Sierra Leone. More things happen. They don't beat you or stone you to death or kill you. That's no justice. You know, thanks to concerning kidnapping, they are going to see the deal the person, and then they say nothing. And that woman, who knows if you reach to the police there? Who knows what they don't pass for now? You know, who knows something that woman is completely innocent. But you know, we're talking because around now, you know, nobody is trying to defend her. You know, because it's one and sister that woman, you know, the great. You know, and I feel guilty. If you guilty, there must be some reason make it bad. That reason must be a mental illness on a set up that woman there. And you not get worse to defend because you know people they put something on the bottom or killing picking. But for that woman who killing picking, after they don't stop her for that, there must be a reason behind it. I mean, let's just blame the woman, say the woman guilty or kill out that person and to death. You know, the government, apart of overseas people, we overseas, the government they could just get agenda that could deal with mental illness. Not to say party get support you from overseas or for people like that, everybody support you. No. You get your plan and go ahead with the plan. What thing reward don't get rewarded as the Democrats now? What thing we don't do? Even if you say not popular, but not Democrats long, at least can win, you don't win you. You know, we in Republican they demonize we. But still, because at the end, people must see the good way don't do. You know? So at the same thing in Africa, not what to say people are supposed to do your agenda. No, just go ahead with your agenda, people must reward you.
Oh, okay, let Mr. Rashid, Mr. Arun want to answer that, Mr. Zubairu. So I think you get something you want to say to the caller.
Yeah, not only I want to talk to the caller, but I want to incorporate this to within the go on currently. So mental illness, it come under people with deeper drug addiction also. As much as we don't see this amount of kush use and the addiction and then so, yeah, I want to ask the people in Asylum, whether the president, the vice president, the attorney general, the mayor of Freetown, and all the big politicians, if anyone don't say one word, and none of them not say any word.
Indeed.
Look how we provoke young people them. Look how we young people they go through addiction and the pain when they go through. For this kush or what they call K2 spice. Other than they do them, they're not able to do studies of other than they take these drugs. When are the homeless them? They remind them. The mental ill people and then they take these drugs. Look how the people and they suffer. Then they take some people and they take them because they want relaxation. There's no, they don't get no purpose in life anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They become paranoid. They get confused. Just the code they talk about hallucination, become hallucinated, and then blood pressure they go up too. All their organs they shut down as we see them. These are almost a whole generation where they allow for die for mental illness and this disease here. So, when they ask the president, the leader them, the one the way we want for office system. We all leader them, we want one for president who will come to his rescue. Now we come and fight this fight. This is not a fight for the left easy. We see how then they abuse the poor people waiting for these drugs, videoing them, young woman, young man them. Take them video then they put on a public and left them to their own devices. Nobody not help them. Now so a country for them. Now so a country. When something like this happen, as we all feel within IASO today, we know the way somebody take and close the street, then they go quick, policeman and can take and put on an ambulance car and go. When them people are take them drugs there, so Unfortunately, we don't get antidote for these kush or K2 spice. What then they take? They not get them. But we know the symptoms them. The hallucination. You give an IV Aldol, flush the system with fluid, get rid of them, and put them in an institution for rehabilitate them. My God, my friends, what our leaders are doing. Then because we already talked at the social media, we want one for office. But now we think, who would they choose for one way office? That one we get our soul, we love in country, we want to give back to country. We know the issues, we will attack them. Are they for this campaign, for this year, so for highlights right now? Not only that, I don't go AYV and call to the president and the mayor for come together and let we fight them. Are they going to area points area? They talk about this same a bad and how it affects the country today. We they talk how what are the solutions them? We they ask the leader them. The people them before una vote, una look who down at the vote for. Now other go cancel una rescue. When we people then they suffer so with these drugs. When then they die from this thing. I don't see them they beat people they wait thief money. Then they beat them till almost then they die. Now we continue a human being. When a mama born like a me and you, because they're poor. Now that the poor people that they affect, their proper government and come to rescue. This not plea with the plea today. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Since I call on the line, can we take
Caller,
one
good
call?
evening. Name and where you come from, please.
Good evening. This is Freddie Mustafa from Leicester again,
Yes,
and
sir. Go ahead.
and I thank you for the program. First of all, I want to touch quickly on mental health. You know, even Musa Tumbu, the tell we they get problems. Yeah. Me now one of the person people that we be engage people them on social media for a problem there. Everybody laugh at me. Everybody laugh at me. Say, the man is okay. The man get woman. The man they talk on the guy they make video. Now I tell them, see, we will only take them serious if they tell you they pull in trusses. And exactly not be. They tell you the man pull trusses. Now the general the ministry come talk say, oh, this man for help him. Oh, this man need help. Salone after they take madness issue. I mean mental health issues. If you know stone people and curse or you know pull it close them. You know Chris. You know the health sector. You know they move forward. You know to today start to. Even the same way that we appoint Sago Kabia as Minister of Health during the past administration, I was so happy. I said, oh, somebody will get a GP from, a medical practice from America, I don't can be minister. But the bottom line is, the agenda, no, they align with what the government want to do. So at the end of the day, without any idea, you know, they go through. Now, what thing the president want, because everything at the country, the president like for do things there. Even this man will go to be the current health minister, go to be nationality, the one will be health minister. What has he done? He cannot change anything. Because everybody can stand and talk about free quality education. That's what they want to hear. So you know that they go through. Your ideas are not going through. So what happened? They said about Macau rally, wake up. One person died there, other person failed. The minister, everybody say, hey, what if there is not even an emergency where they get more than 10,000 people. There was no emergency. Nothing like health emergency. Be there in place. Look, last time quickly to Sylvia Bradley, because the last time I don't touch us on her. I always talk about the opposition politician, the way they act smart. Because the able opposition for Sidon with the Sokia, then they join cheap. He removed an audio very recently for defend the first lady. He statement them. Can you imagine somebody what he don't talk, they can't defend them. And suddenly they travel go and come London and then go America. I think they don't come London back. So now the kind of people in this where they talk say then they can't talk true. Where this he talks by one of his statement they say, oh, not to they know they use their own money. It's like bloody not rich using money not to pay him in they doing things them. So just imagine this is the kind of person who they talk for we the people and say, oh now listen to me are honest, me are not with country. You don't take money undercover, they enjoy riches, you don't abandon opposition who corner they do, for them to talk for the people them. Just like Alpha Khan and Victor Fu and others, where they not able the talk here or the postpartum sideline for 5 years or 10 years, they not able that. I just let people see the kind of person way the way they play, they can't defend somebody. Now make some people themselves them pull the audio, which are the person is not like Kenima, they talk against people like for mob justice there, when they can't defend. Just always they focus on this is blind, make they see people the way they pull out video them, say they talk for you. Look at what they are doing. Everyone will say these trips the way they take London, America, Salone is very expensive. You cannot pay that. But anyway, I just like I give you a bite. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, please, you can call back if you get additional thing for say. Okay.
I want to talk one thing where one of the callers, and I think it was the very first caller, talk about you don't have to wait for nobody for go do what you want to do. Yes, that's true. But at the same time, forget an impact. The kind where we did forget an impact it takes together. And one of we viewer them, Keisha Fofana. Keisha Fofana is a long time viewer of VOS. I born in Papana, Sierra Leone, and she watches us from Texas. And Keisha said the only way we can work together as one is divine unity without competition. We have to be connected through the spirit. Real talk. Amen. And I agree with him. I agree with Keisha and the fact that if we are not together, because if we spirit them, and as much as we say God, but all things come back to spirituality. It's not about religion here. It's about spirituality, togetherness, oneness. When we come together, because we bind in the spirit, we are thinking the same thing. We are all giving our all for the same mission, and it's not about the personal stuff. And what will the spirits then come together and combine to one, great things happen. And that is my point here, that the way I see, if you look at my WhatsApp, on my WhatsApp, I get over how many stuff that when they put me inside. I get how many group them, over 20 groups, maybe more than that. When they put me inside, this is my WhatsApp. This is my WhatsApp. Look at all this. Some of them are not even open them. I get all these things on WhatsApp. And all I hear, I don't hear together. I don't hear unity. I hear hate. I hear let's tear one another down. I don't hear compassion for one another. I don't feel the love. That's why I say I need to pull back, because my mental health, I will go crazy. Who is going to go into that kind of battle where you say you go give to people? Because let us remember this. When we are flying, because most of us don't fly, when we are on the plane, the air hostess, where they give briefing, it say if you are on the plane and the plane is going down and the oxygen mask come, put the oxygen on yourself first before you help even a child, even your picking near you. And if I am not mentally stable, how can I go into that arena where it's toxic? Why have I go kill myself inside there, forgive to people, for sacrifice to people that don't even appreciate you? We don't receive from one another. We don't learn from one another. We tear. When you hear the people that we forgive example, when we don't live a little bit longer, the toxicity and the trash what we put inside. I mean, somebody don't tell me say they're talking Allah, because this is how I feel. I feel it from my guts. And sometimes it's just like we don't know. Some of we know we age, we know how to behave. Some of we get people that where they look up to where we they mentor. And certain behaviors of society, but we hear ourselves. And people are sharing certain things on to each its own. But who's saying they push we for goal? It's not taking us nowhere. We're just going in circles. It's not taking us nowhere. We get forget love for the way we walk together. Mr. Arun will say yes, you get people then. But inside them people then you get people then back where they undermine them people then why are you doing this with it? Now I ain't gonna get all the thing because I ain't starting. You see your friends start putting, or they go make up stuff. The evil, so this woman is talking about oneness. One day I say we sabi God. But God is love. God is unity. God is together. God, yes, we will all not at the same time be in all, but majority of the people in the bell curve, therefore, be together for let the society go forward. And my question is, this is not the Sierra Leone I grew up in. How did we get to this point when nobody don't care about nobody? Even the government cannot do, but the society, the environment care about one another. We look out for one another. We've lost that. It's not there no more. The village has disappeared. Now na survival of the fittest. Now na survival, what they eat the next second. They don't even care about tomorrow. It's right now. So anything when anybody bring come now that drum then they dance to, because that's survivor. There is nothing. There's no hope. They're hopeless. They're on drugs. When you begin to take drugs, you bring the change. You bring in chemistry, the change. You don't even get common sense no more. All you need is to feed yourself these drugs no more when the thing they come. Because what you do, you want to numb your pain. You want to forget what you issue. You turn zombie. We see them being zombies in the street. Just freeze till the drugs wear out. Then they function again. Then they go right back to work. Because why? That's all they have. And the problem is there when they wake up. So they cannot handle the problem. They cannot deal with the problem. So they go right back to waiting they comfort them. And those are the drugs, the this, the that, all the other stuff that we people they do. Some people, they take fame in, some people are not relevant, not to say we're better than some people, but some people are not relevant. When they do extraordinary things and out of the blue things, they get the likes, they get the this, they get the that, they cheer on. Is that what we want for the society, for the environment? Nigerians go back to their village and they build their village. Can't look Christmas in Nigeria. Everybody's, Abuja, they empty, everybody's going back to village. Everybody go to their papa, their village now. For Christmas, for holidays, they go celebrate. But all those people, they go back now, everybody want overcrowd na Freetown. I won't any sure you want to be the mayor of Freetown. How you going to fix that problem? I will get to. Because if the people are not together.
In fact, sometimes I go consult with Dr. Lawyer Shilon in regards to the law and how they enforce them. With an honest opinion, we get people like Una, we will get an honest opinion. We don't need anything from me back home. You get for bring people that we just want to give back to the country based on their act. Miss Fadima, look out. You did Salone last December. You did a couple of months, I believe we were talking. And you see, so the overpopulation, you see how everybody did in the club together. You see motorcycle, you see everything. It's all about a collective effort. And I make sometimes, we within a debate there, so we fight against each other, just like we say. But sometimes, you sit back and listen. Why can't we find a solution to some of them problems they have? So why will not be civil to each other, respectful to each other? Then we be a mortal man again, a real serious mortal man. For look where we get land na Lunge. Look where it's flat. Why are we wasting that landing? What about Tombo, Kent, McDonald? Why will not bring people and make it and develop small tongue and they? We're vibrant, we're functional. We steal the left land and they just stay there no more like a so. Now only $1 billion it able for makes Lunge and then place today for people for live a better life. When they go get clean water, they go get light, they go get hospital, they go get fire force, they go get schools them. All that money they will be able to go lend them and fix them if we come together. Urban and rural come together and march together and move forward. But we know nobody not take credit. It's Sierra Leone. If you build airports, it's Sierra Leone, not to APC, SRPP or the NGC party. Make it be seen that we not to the red or the green now not see because this person come out and bone and that no more they try for improve. Until we get that mind for being independent, we not go flourish. But again, instead of complain, now begin raise the question and throw them back to them. Now you make this election, we they ask the people where they run for mayor. On a kind debate now, VOS. When we go debate on the issues, let we know who that like in country. We don't find out say the way that they run and campaign in Sierra Leone. Now for go give them people their money. Give them money for go bribe them, then you left them. After 5 years, you left them to their own devices. Would they ask them again? Dear, would they give you that money there? You rest down? Dear, would they give you that money there? people and mental illness done well. When they give you that money, the dollar don't come down. When they go make league for you, dear, you papa and your mama secure. When another get flood, because they go make league. Then this is the campaign we will get for campaign. Not bribe with people and forget power. We get the power, you left them to their own devices. We get for talk. And this election is gonna be a real debate on that. Now make we throw them to them now. Say until on a bribe on a bribe, would they use the social media against una? Would they make music against una? Would they do projector against una? All over the city. We talk on how the city will be a shining city again, not the hill. Thank you, man.
Mr. Zubairu, one of the viewers, they must see in comment, Mr. Kunku Motante. They say Yvonne is the best mayor for Freetown with no malice. Freetown no wants mayor we get anger management issues. And I think they address that to you. What do you say to Mr. Motante?
Well, sometimes because of the pain, sometimes we go express some exuberant. And sometimes because of the pain, we show some pain and show some anger on how for 61 years we city don't become this way how it is. For 60 years, we see we country in at the bottom. Today, loud tell you now, most people in the world today, you know, till they kill them, now plenty of them eat boku food. Most people in today, wait till they die from old age. Most people then that the world today. Not so for saying now what they kill them all. Now suicide, now they kill them. We country now poor, now they make we die. We they die early now we country. So then see the day now they make we the vex, and sometimes we express anger on the people who don't lead with country all this time. Akisoya, it gets a very good plan where Mr. appreciates and transform Freetown. He know the job, he know what it takes. But he not get the power. He not get the power and he not the fight for the power. And that make you fail. Take for example, flooding. Today, Egypt. Take pictures, everybody. But we country today, they don't cut 300,000 trees them. Madam Akisha cannot speak on that because they afraid the president. We get flooding. We see how people and they die from a mudslide. We see way much rain the white people them off. We not forget angry because of that. We are. We say they plant 1 million trees. Now 600,000 trees they plant, but now 400,000 nobody wait them up today. When they say get rid of all the people in that mountain there, take the power, move the people in there to another place.
But then Mr. Shilon made a comment. That Mr. Shilon made a comment earlier, say the sitting mayor don't have those powers because they put the minister of local government over the city, over the mayor in aid, so the mayor not able in hand type or something. Even if you fight, even because we see the bus and the couscous on social media with the mayors and stuff, and some of these things it is beyond her. So what do you do? Because the law don't already tie in hand for do certain things.
Yes, and one of me
where the local government they don't put them.
One of me, and you know, saying that I think one of the smallest parties in Sierra Leone, we're an independent party. We not believe in the red or the green or the whatever color you call or any tribe. Now at the NGC, that's not the reason why. And if I'm fortunate for win the election, that means it's a mandate. That means the people say they want for independently run the city. You can ask, I believe, say, you know, Madam Fadima and Bashilon, una no say no country in this world where the central government, they control the city council except Sierra Leone. No other country in this world where now the president now they control the capital city.
It is illegal. We need to challenge it.
It is illegal.
So how do you How do you fight that? I don't say put the
Get a
scenario.
lawyer.
I don't say
Can I tell you?
how do you fight these people
Let me give an
when we
answer to
know
that.
the governments they will get the executive power oversees everything else? How do you fight it? How do you change it? When the court
Okay,
system, everything
Lawyer Sheila,
goes
want
the
to talk?
executive.
Yeah, in answer
Well,
to Ms. Fadima in question, make I interrupt. How do you fight that? You see, in America, there are certain expressions, Alec. You take the fight to the government
to the government.
within the rules, within the boundary of law and order. That means you challenge the government. First of all, Parliament delegates power by making that local government act there. We then self not get the power for create. Parliament give power to the government, to the executive, through the Local Government Act, that Parliament itself did not have the power to give. These things, you can only challenge them at the Supreme Court. You see, so this is not a hopeless situation. And none of this is beyond Akisoya. Mr. Zubaru get a different way of approaching the problem. But I guarantee you, once you now begin for challenge and take these cases to court and challenge the exercise of the extraordinary power of the executive, and then we begin to make the constitution with law of the land that neither parliament nor the executive get the power for do anything where the constitution allow them, then we can begin for shape to say, there's this mentality that once parliament passes a law, it's legal. No, it has to be constitutional. If that law the way parliament passed violate the constitution, it's illegal. This is a fact. Any lawyer who know anything about constitutional law will tell you that. But this is a concept Sierra Leone lawyers do not get stayed out. We don't even know the function of a constitution. So I'm trying to encourage lawyers to take these matters to court. The government will fail in most instances because the Local Government Act is now one of the most obstructive acts Sierra Leone ever passed. That law is as illegal as I know, if not most of the act itself, if not all of the act itself, most of it. But it has to be challenged. If we don't challenge them, then we'll continue to exercise that power.
Mr. Shillon, it's good on paper. I mean, I'm being optimistic, but at the same thing, I'm being real. I'm being real.
The pessimism bothers me because everything is possible. If we don't fight for what we believe, we think say it's a hopeless case. Then it's a hopeless case.
We are looking at reality here. The attitude of the people, yes, have to change. The attitude of the people have to change.
We have to change them. Now we get to change.
Yes, that's true. It takes somebody for start. It takes somebody for begin for carry them go to court. It takes somebody when we see court cases. They take people to court, they just slap the cases, sit on there, nothing else not they do. Yes, but you don't take the case to court, but the reality of the function, the system, what is on paper, we don't respect it. That's the reality on the ground. We can take the thing to court all day, but the reality on the ground, the truth on the ground is, it is not working. Change will come when one voice starts. Yes.
So is the answer it leave it the way it is? Is that the answer? Because it's not working.
I'm just trying to get another idea for if we go past this blockage, because this is the blockage here. How we go past that mountain for everything that is on paper go like it too. There is no perfect democracy, of course, but majority of the things they work for the people. We know that it takes years, it takes work. But are we ready for it? Are people, our government ready for it? Are the people that are in the branches of government ready for it? Like Kutubuki said, we all did our Alice in Wonderland with that. Because we're not ready yet. I always say, we the people of Sierra Leone, we're not ready yet. Mr. Zubairu, before we go to the caller, they will get caller and talk quick.
Okay, we have so many calls.
I get like probably 10 more minutes until I'm at the work right now.
Okay.
But Madam Fadima, before you say before we continue and ask you. Now the message, and see the campaign they come, now the campaign they come so, We campaign the same. Arun Zubair campaign, and they use the word autonomy, independently run for the city. And I will take them to the people then. Precinct by precinct, that they would go begin tell the people and say, the reason why make una not do anything now because of that. Now because of that, now it make. So we to go and fight on the incident day all over the country, also with any medium we use, we use them. So we came for win this election and we will let the people know. It's that the message that I get for go. So now autonomy now will go with smart. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, let's go to the caller then, please, Mr. Shino. Caller,
Hello,
give
caller.
me name and where you come from. Caller name and where you come from, please. Hello, caller.
Abdul, they call from Canada.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want to thank you for giving me access for able for contribute a little bit. Yeah, I just listened to we brother we were on when they talk about this crisis now we country, this mental health crisis. Yeah, just by listening to all the everything we wanna see there on point. You see, because the thing is there's no structure as far as mental health is concerned. First of all, even our medical system is a mess. Because I've been there last year, my sister sick. So I've been there, go now hospital every now and then. So then they do tests and they say typhoid, malaria. At the end of the day, don't they take treatment, nothing, because that was not the problem. So first of all, the test they do, it was wrong. I don't know side they get anything whether old equipment they get or whatever, I don't know. So, and once you are noticed again, where you go to hospital and the first thing they do is, I saw you go see hit the heart, or it's not well. If they not tell you typhoid, they will say malaria. After that, they don't begin hang by you dozens of drips, dozens. My sister there, and just 2 days you put the all down balloon, because all the nurses, the everybody getting on IVs, they wouldn't sell. Corner. So then the kind of money just prescribe. They just prescribe. So the other thing where my sister in the church on the and just now we talk about we brother say get nurse practitioners there where then we're able to help online. Or sister they asked the question if because we Sierra Leoneans would like for sabotage one another, which is correct. She's on point on that. But on the other hand again, one thing I believe is we get I know now we problem in the way Sierra Leoneans thing. But we get good Sierra Leoneans thing too. We get people there where they get that country that hard. Because the reason why they say that some in Canada and Winnipeg, where Ebola become, my small sister then come meet me say, we don't get this problem in our country. I need $20 from you. So what did they do with that? They say, well, okay, use this money, we'll buy some PPEs to send them for help with young people in a little way, or we'll send the money. So I said, what? I small picking this, then bring this idea. So I try for talk to people that may know now, we're able to get a full container of PPEs. But let me tell you what was the problem. Where Mr. Shilon, I believe, saved in church on that. With people that hold in there and they don't get conscience, don't get mind, they're wicked. All they care for is about themselves. We don't get this thing now from International Hope. When a non-governmental organization wouldn't they help for we able to get them 94%. Now free. We'll not give them penny. So now all we need for do for ship and we get the money for ship everything. But now the problem is for go clear them over there. They're not able to give that duty free. This they go for go help we young people there. Where these people that then give they don't know anybody under. Now just because of humanitarian thing where we go meet them and see the need for GUI. But now we get problem for sending in the under. It take we some time for law able sending in the until a brother with organization. Now then get for help we will link through the other help now there your money they use for go clear them in the under. The next consignment we'll get as I speak to us we still sit on it. We're not able to get way for selling. We able to ship, but would they go clear other? because me and my other brother we been going up in the line in common himself get his consignment. We send a 40-feet container. Na watakide the Tingo Beru. So me no one let them they happen to we because no one taint we reputation to the people then we don't already know we. So these are some of the problems. There are people out there at the guarantee that I know see yes we get problem, but trust me, we get good people there. Where they mean good for that country there. If we get leaders there within there ahead, just like our two brother they talk so, where people in there now where then we're able for volunteer. For go out there where there are no places there where they will get stuff there, then we're able to send another place there, provided you know CST still what they send it they go reach to the people. This is the problem. So yeah, so now make us say we are all correct una talk with Mr. Shilon talk and you the brother. So we need to get people there actually before we then get the heart, where then the care for the people there. Then get sorry out for the people then we know see people in the diaspora.
All right. I think the control room probably cut him off because
Okay,
they're
yeah, let's take
exceeding
the
time.
other caller quick.
So please call back if you want to continue. If you want to continue,
Yeah.
I want you to the express. We'll go to the next caller. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where's you call from?
Yeah, Mr. Shilo. My name is Alpha Sisia. I call from Alaska.
Hello, Mr. Sise. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Yes, I want to thank you. Fatima, I want to thank you. Aaron, I want to thank you for the good work we want to do. Yeah, I call concerning about the development about Sierra Leone. And I read Fatima, they try for, say, Nigerians, them, you know, then they go now and village them, you know, exactly. So, which is true. Nigerian man, then thinking different than we, the Sierra Leoneans. Them. So, in Salone, 3 years ago, I did try for develop because me na can't do like where I'm born me, Mr. Shilon probably was a bit in Dema. I was born in Dema, can't do like where I'm but my mama na Benemun go on chiefdom na the north, na they come out. So I did start two projects there by the same time. See, la build, you know, at least a 20-bedroom hotel, a town hall, at least a community center, outside me mama come on. And I also do the same thing at the east, outside and born me. I don't try my best, you know, able for employ the youth them at the ground day, for letting help me at least for build the place. So I did a contract to one me Fambul na the north, where outside mama come on at Benembu. So what it happen after I don't buy the land, they don't knock block, I don't dig water well, and all them things. So one military day na the captain. And I think I colonel at the military. When we all them born at the north, when I Benembu. I'm not calling names, but so what you do, we don't see say I want to build the project because then don't they in that country they know they develop their hometown. So me decided to say, go do that. It takes some military them, then go break me blocks them and block the water well. Say in Grandmama maybe they grow granite there, I think 30 years ago, something like that, some kind of excuse. So some of the same youthman they were hire for do the project. They say some of them be joined back too for breaking me blocks. And me know they for politics. For so you know me not politician or I run for council or this and that. No. So that I left. I say okay, well, la left and they go na the east who said them born me. So the project na the east, you know, 10-bedroom hotel, 70 by 50 town hall. And a little building where I want to do like a food bank, you know, stuff like that. So the project started well. You know, after a while, the person who I get the contract, instead, I think be the mine diamond. And then the rain season be the rain them be the come. So he left the work and go begin the dig diamond with the money what be the send. So after a while, now I find out, somebody tell me, so I send people now Freetown, let them go roof the place. Then go roof replace. But the corruption so much now, what did they do? People then they go toilet inside the rooms them at the hotel where I don't build. You know. So the thing why they talk about Salone, And most of the time, we feel saying that the government, like APC or SLPP, that they pull that country. 90% of the time, we the people, them, the youth in another country, they are responsible for letting that country not develop. My cousin just commoded back recently too. He said, I think he go fight for land or whatever, he win the case. He can in England 2 weeks ago. We can die, can die. So arrest my case.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Arula, I'm not saying you don't get time, you can't go, you turn down each other, go.
I get to go
Okay,
back
so
here.
give you last word and respond to the two callers, and then we will continue.
Yeah. We waiting with us stay back. We as Freetonians or Sierra Leonean, we always complain about the other person. That person is responsible for things that they happen for we. But we get to break that cycle. And how they break them, now we'll begin to talk positively on the things that will they happen, how we go fix them. And it's gonna be a campaign for tell the people them what we want to do, what will benefit them, we show them some evidence. Now that's what we go do. Waiting as Harun's by waiting na my purpose for camp. Now for make Freetown be a functional city. Functional city where people are able to get host them outside and go there, where they go get clean water, we get to plan them. We go put all the plan them when the presidents and everybody say will begin the campaign. We go put the plan them, we take on every area, we tell them from housing to the water system, to the sewage system, to trash collecting, to also reallocation for schools them, the municipality schools them, the hospital them, the jail system, the fire force, all of them therefore we revamp based on Zubairu, but also we get rid of this thing what we call flooding. Because we know say water, if you make a friend, people are not going to die from unnecessarily the cow picking and they die the cow and they die. So we are vibrant and we are stronger. We ready for carry the message across. The young people them that go speak on Zubairu across Freetown, then we are we. And that's we plan for do. Not to fight, not a physical fight, but an open discussion. And obviously, me no say VOS could always accommodate me when I ready for can talk on which I believe say could make Freetown a better city, the shining city. Because Singapore do they not get no natural resources them like we. But when you go Singapore today, if you see that country today, we go say, my God. But we get some more. One thing I would say about the young people, the way we did today, the Okada people, there are 2 million of them today registered as Okada driver. Look how they fight themselves, then become homeless, and then they take the kush, then they die as they die. So when if they catch you, you mistake touch one, then they beat you till them burn you with Okada. We change that. We make sure so we pay them people and they go learn something and trade them, give them $100 every month until they complete their classes. Them give them housing, list to own housing, create water, give people them money for go continue the business. They're not all collateral on them. But if you put money in the country, inject them to them, believe me, it will be a better city. And we ready, and we will talk about them plan and so when the time ready. Thank you very much.
Come back. I got for bring you back because you don't left no baku question in my head. So I will therefore bring you come back because one of the team them I will say all them fund and then they come out and then they all
I will answer the question. I will answer that question. I can answer the question.
Okay.
Me come America 1991. The debt I also then have been $19 trillion today. Now $31 trillion. Lending money is not a problem, but now other they lend the money. We believe say if Mr. Madabio or can the young killer become president, they will go and lend good money. We will get $300 million where it starts from, and they will be able to solve this problem. We will get for lend money, but how they lend money and how they use that now and we're not shy away for lend money because the world live on credit today. And we sell them for lend. We'll pay in 45 years, but today they make a lasting change that we see. That's what they do.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for where you come with me. And as always, viewers, my platform, come at any time. We'll have the conversation. We'll go for come back again. And like I say, when it's ending near, we'll reach out to the mayor, say, let us exchange ideas. Let us see.
Absolutely.
Who are the best candidates.
But I'll tell you how me and the mayor just walk about some things now. We get the call with me also come out. One full of man don't buy the land. The people are within the 5,000 people and I didn't they get water. The full of man can buy the land, It say the people they get scared of all the mail attack there. The people are not even get 5,000 people then. Now the people that call me, they say, Zuba, you get for stock on this. We talk. I call the mayor on a Sunday like this. I left message for the mayor, call me, say, Subaru, will you fix them? In 2 days, the mayor fix them for me. Now I call teamwork. And today the people can get the water and they still get her. Now I call teamwork. Even though we compete, we fight for the good fight. And that's Sierra Leone. And that's what we talk about.
So teamwork. Let me give you one more.
Absolutely.
The teamwork, my mind, you stimulate my mind here. Teamwork. You know, talk about loaning money and who that they know. The mayor with all the accolades that we don't get from the international community. If I'm not saying may the best man win here, but if the mayor wins, all them here, will you work together with her to still bring Freetown to the city where you have been a dream of? Would you work with her?
And I made a winner. I the winner for this election.
Yeah, doesn't make the best man win, but we don't know. It's a 50-50 chance here. It's a 50-50 chance in all things of life. So if the mayor happens for win and you don't win, will you, if the 50% not favor you, will you be willing to work with the mayor with all these ideas for put together for push Freetown go before?
Absolutely. Now I make I tell the mayor, hopefully mayor you the meet before the election come with the talk and guess with him with the fight the good fight because now mayor come on now Zion Church together. We really at the youth fellowship. So we again we are friends them. Gentle. Now mayor come on at the same mayor and we play dirty. We are friends for the country. Absolutely. So we are fighting on.
Una go fetch yourself, but una go love yourself still. Because the mission here is the people. As long as the people is center, I wish you well. Thank you so much and have a wonderful and blessed
Thank you, Sheila, for everything, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Take care, Mr. Arun. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Arun. So let me go to the next caller. Caller, Mr. Sheila, go ahead, sir. Caller, good evening. Name and who say they call from, please. Because Mr. Arun get for go back. He get for go back to work. Yes, Mr. Sheila. Go ahead with your callers. Call good evening, name and who say they call you from, please.
Yes, my name is Edith. I did call from Maryland. I'm talking on the phone. I'm calling from Maryland. I'm a very grateful to Una. I done the watching her for a long time, off and on. Miss Fatima and Mr. Shiloh, I really appreciate Una bringing up the very, very vital issues them across the board. Wherever we did, Sierra Leone now we home now they will come up. We need for help. We need for help for people the way they suffer. Now I mean my own thing with the mental health what I want to address this. I want to ask if the leaders then the one the way they govern Sierra Leone right now, me not a politician, so that's not on a specialist. And this should not be about politics. Always at the some people then don't mention some color they don't mention that. It should not be about politics, it should be about humanity. Like when they pull down Monday, so out of ignorance, most of the people, yes, they don't catch down Monday, they don't drown Peking, they find the body. I watch the video partially, they do something. But like what they say, when you born, when woman born, you yourself measure, Mr. Fatima, your hormones, they get imbalance in your body. Your brain let it function right. Sometimes they are so depressed, postpartum depression. The one that don't born Peking, they don't go through that. So I just pray to God that and the public health system in Sierra Leone, we will sensitize people for them to know, for them they help their neighbors. When they're born, then they watch them. If somebody they act peculiar, let them step in. Or when something like this happens, they're not for shame them, like the way they shame them, but rather call a healthcare personnel and the authorities them, then put on a home. If they get a health a facility where they take care of the kind of people there, which I don't even know, to be sincere. I don't left Salone for a while. I don't visit 3 times in the past over 30-some years. But I don't know if they still get facility where they help with mental health, number one. And mental health come in different phases. Whether not something when hereditary or not through drugs or not through this hormone imbalance, if it happen, we need to help with people then. It's very heartrending to see what I see the last week show with Mr. Mohammed, I forget his last name, when he said after they work, in a prison or so, they see a lot of drug activity there. It's different, yeah. now the first world and yonder. Yeah, so then get the some of the solution them and things them for help. So how Sierra Leone and then the healthcare department they try to identify these people they will get mental health and what are they plan for treating and do they have the infrastructure to do it? Those are the things the leaders have to look into instead of for the blame. The other thing again, whether man they talk about the youth. The youth then they now the same one they don't want to help the country. You go yonder for go develop anything, now then go destroy them for you. They don't like change. The citizens of any country, you know, get that mindset to embrace change. Even if you don't believe at first say they woke, you know, get to give that chance to that new system, that new policy to evolve. Enforcement not necessarily. Bribery and corruption is too much. Now they destroy Sierra Leone. I mean, and coming back to Mr. Zaburu, the one we want to stand election, I hope that they call your name right. I don't know what I did now. I don't, yeah. If now I did, me, I want to understand what's the law, the policies and necessarily. But say you, before you go stand election, if you don't live in this country for X amount of years, but let you understand what the citizens and they go through. Visit the communities before you even announce your desire for become a politician in that sector, because you got to understand what they go through. There are a lot of lack in the communities in Sierra Leone. Health system not there, clinic not there for them. The sanitary system is poor. Infrastructure is not there. Just the way they say what again come, it go drop. What's not the policy the one that they try to put in place, and who that will enforce them? Everything is corrupted. You go now Freetown, you will see policemen go pull motorists over, that shake hands. There is no here that will give you citation, and they are responsible to make sure that citation go to the then that money the end they use for make bridges, make roads, build schools, build hospitals. How can they get to that if enforcement is not done as earlier? The Supreme Court, there has to be checks and balances. Somebody there for the watch over the other. But how can Sierra Leone go before? The other two I want to talk about, let them go address. Now, Okada business. That who's one of the tickets on the Okada and what in the Sudan?
Yeah.
They need to stop. No more production, no more importation of that. They kill people. And then someone they cause so much crime that you will pass and drug you by. Who that's dump on top the Honda, they call the other person. I did in a model junction where one school became for them from Okada, then they argue. The Okada driver then jam each other. That became for them head crack from the back. It grab the walk and I say it stumble like that drunk. And me, I'm so confused. I said I want for help. They say, oh no bother. It's like there's so lack of sensitivity to all that problem. I mean, I'm not saying the time don't go, but I'm just pray to God the leaders and the
we'll give you time. Just finish up what you want to say. Go ahead, finish your thoughts, because we really appreciate your
it's very heart-rending for the youth that they're not fit to anything. And this push where they go on is very sudden. I cried last week when I watched him. And me, them police officer and the sergeant, I'm not going to say. So me in my heart, for say somebody go dress well, when you know a day the gay income, it go on the street, it go disgrace himself. Somebody must have tinted their drink or food for them to act that way publicly. That's my own take on that. I don't think so they go do them and come out dressed and they work on the street. When they know they're in all an office, you know, they are looking up to them.
When people are addicts,
I'm a man.
When people are addicted to drugs, they do stupid stuff. Addiction to drugs.
But at least some of them know that we should not do it when we are in our uniform. So now that's taking over me. I give them the benefit of the doubt. Yes, when you're addicted to drugs, you find your way. And the thing is, they don't know. When your problem is there, whether you take drugs, alcohol, you mix them up together, you get your cocktail. It's not going to take your problem away if you don't have a solution to it. So if they don't put God first and pray. So
when I was in the army, when I began at the army active duty, I was urinalysis NCO. And at random, soldier, then they will take drugs. Then they in uniform, then they go work, then they take drugs, they high on drugs. And they can just call and announce your analysis. Maybe they do 100%, and you go be surprised how many people in uniform they take drugs, they addicts. But what in the army they do, they chapter you. But if you have a problem, if you know say you get drug problem, before they do the analysis, you don't go. Not when they announce it and they can't do analysis. But before that, you go to your chain of command, say, I have a drug problem. Then they give you help. They will give you help. So what Salone gets that for say they give help. And some of these people are addicts. Some of them, they don't go through the right channel and right training. They take these people. We see the other video where some people and they say they're entitled for going to the police, whether they qualify or not, because they're at the grassroots of a party. And when they go inside there, you put those people, some of these people are messed up people. We get them. I was in the army. I can see messed up people sometimes. They begin one thing whether they call now America, go to war, go to jail. They're young picking the way they can work, they can get their option, you go join the army or whatever. Some take their bad, what they call some go reform. But some people act for it and take them away from that stuff. So in every society, in everything, we get them people in it. So I don't believe they tainted their drink. I just believe they are drug addicts. And the organization, whether the army, the institution, not put in place, they're not address them drug issue. Because you see policemen and they drunk, they wear the uniform, no honor, no respect, no dignity. They wear the uniform on duty, then they drunk, then they waiting and call. So I don't believe somebody did it to them, but to each his own. But I believe they're addicts already, maybe they take the drugs. Somebody else, this is the age of social media. So yeah. This is the age of social media.
Right, we've seen nurses that come to work and
nurses. Thank you. When that's why they begin put medication on the pixies, because the nurses take these narcotics. When they give the patient, they can take them for themselves. Yes, the nurses in America, they take the narcotics for themselves. Yeah, they take them, so they're addicts. They are addicts. They don't get help. You go for seek help. That you are not getting help. And in all,
I saw that.
Well, can she wrap up so we can take some other calls?
So can you wrap up now? We can take other caller, please.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, my sister. Thank you. Caller, good evening. What is your name and also you call from, please?
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Fatima and Mr. Silon.
Yes,
my do a very great work, this is Ahmed at the call from UK.
Yes, Mr. Ahmed, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I just want to tipping on this issue of the drugs on this mental state issues where they go around the town and with the mayor. I think the last time when Mr. Shida came on the same program, we talk on this drug issue and how really it all rampant. The reason being, some of we grew now the system even just after the war. We go school as young boys, So, but then what we expect, then telling the soldiers and they take their stuff and they sisters a young underage people they join the rebels and stuff. But at least I think after the war, when Jankaba come, we see some improvement and stuff for crackdown stuff. Even we grew up, so they are in a hideout areas and all them bad people who been there, who do the chief gone, come get some board them, then talk money, but the man crack them down. We kissing up areas where we grew up in our areas. The money is for cracking down. But imagine now we don't grow from their part there, and now the city there, what did they happen? It's sad. The thing is, the reason why some people talk sometimes government responsible, people they say, not to government. But this are government where the man come up from the military, who expect the law, will prevail, the young one will guide them, people. But today, Freetown, imagine, how many checkpoints that you get when you enter, even within the city, now net, But these are the guys again who they carry anything there. So the thing now from the top people, so the young one, they're vulnerable because there's no law. So because then they count and they make money, out of farm, and then the young one and they punish. You see, so now this will see today, and then we talk about capital development. Where is the capital development? These are the resources, the human resources. When are the main resources we for cherish, because these are young guys. Because imagine if you look on the video, you see these guys, these are 20 years, 25, 30 years old. These are young guys, Now then, so they follow, victim into this kind of thing. So it's terrible, and it don't lead to so many things. Look at now, some drivers and the accident they happen now because where the police. They even check them if they take drugs or then they drunk. You see, take a whole trailer. They just last week I saw one accident just by the bridge, Mabili Ferry Bridge. These are the villages where Malcolm, very close to the where I grew up that area. And imagine these are roadways, smooth, fine road and this, but the guys they don't get precaution when they drive because they check them, they drink and they drunk, and they go bribe police. Police they allow them, they let go. And then they're not for their own life now. What about the people where they kill, where they die unnecessarily? So all of these things now, lawlessness. Now the law, now the whole now the city, now Freetown, now the country. The whole country now into problem based on leadership. This will go for based on leadership. Yes, Kisi, okay, I'll come to the major side, in the mayor side where Mr. Zibaru
Are you on mute? Are you on mute? Ms. Fatima, are you on mute? I think you mute. You muted.
I say sorry for the last call. We call. You can call back and finish in thoughts. The computer put you off for the law request a little bit more time for you. Let me go to the other caller. Good evening, caller. Waiting on your name and what's you call from, please.
I report from Maryland in Wombo again. I don't go on earlier, but no, we don't talk.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just to talk. I will talk about that woman. We then be always say killing, but we don't talk on that now. What you have to emphasize, what they say for law unite. What are they against for law unity? For anything that the government, they set up space for anything. If the government, as you say, the government forgetting your agenda, and where they go campaign on the agenda, if the people then vote for you, for Salone, from airport to win there, you must get majority. If you're not APC, you must get majority of APC gets small from the east, for they go win. The same thing about the people. So majority and they win, and they win Salone. But when you don't win, your agenda, you not deal with popularity. As long as the people don't glad and don't elect you, what you don't campaign on, go ahead with Dande and stick on Dande and do what you for do. Not because most times where they govern, they elect you. And just the first year, the first 2-3 months, and they look after that and don't begin winning, they elect you. I would see that in a year. I mean, or Biden win that first 2-3 months that so let me be the high. After a year, people just forget about you and they don't begin to like you. But you just focus on what you don't campaign on and do. Yeah? Those drug business the way they plan. Who knows if the government behind it or somebody in the government behind it for that drug business. And I know not know the way to go there under where the government he handled did it. If they want to stop her, if they bad, if they want to stop her, then you stop her. Well, if you then get something for benefit day, you know stop. And as I say again, we African, we Salone man, we just business too tranga. As I listen to that call like this now, what they talk about, they say you try to go help in village. And look at the PR, the good to let in house, nothing exactly 17 then do to me in my village. Because you have somebody who I don't believe in city. I don't get nothing to do at the city. I go phone on my village, I said, I go help me own village, I start for okay, that broke me papa in house and build an example of a house there, we all man go see so that people on there overseas, what them go see say, okay, I mean, this is an example don't begin so let's say go begin with the same thing. Because I don't see why if you left your village, go build at the city, and later I go to the village, go build just a rough house there. Build your best house at the city, in your village, then go to the city and I do when you want to do. So at the same thing I do. But people want to begin first. I don't need me parents house already for over the last 70 years. Nine go begin fetching for boundary. Because in just don't begin see the development what they do and begin the first and wait toilet at the house. Some people just hard. It's time for do good, but in the fetch you all kind of way in the fetch you. It's not easy. I mean, Salone will get for change, We election time, guys, we want to suffer. Now it's enough. Now it's a one. Now they broke with it. Because you're not going to give $5 or $10. We don't forget for say we will get for 4 or 5 years for level. No, just now 200,000 don't agree. We just forget everything. So now I say the government get in hand for set up the place. If the government the government of by Kuruma, I mean, we're not supposed to be supposed to support now the support. Because if you say we get some great agenda, get some program there. But now I not say. I mean, I just feel something like APC are not like them, but them better. I think them will be better than any other party. Don't win at Salone. Now already 2 parties then. So any other party they can go to same life away the last time life away so then go win. Even the guy who the campaign, I say, are you sure you go win? Oh yes, you go win. They just make the other person guy win. And look what you go through now. So I listen to that other guy to talk about the mayor na future. Me, I don't say that I'm not the best player. But I say, the true fear. I don't fear the government. I mean, they do the good thing, but the fear. Try for Trump for go get the power because you don't get the power. Then they get the power. The government hold the whole in hand. But if for Trump to make time for get that the people they get already supporter. Trump for go get them go give you power. But it just look fear. Look, but it can't be for fear. Killer.
All right, we'll take one more call. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where side you call from?
Yes, hello.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Where side you call from?
Yeah, this is Dr. Labor calling from the U.S. Can you hear
Dr. Labor? Yeah. What's the name again? Sorry.
This is Dr. Labor calling from the U.S.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, Doc. Nice to hear from you. Go ahead.
Nice to hear from you too. So It looks like there is a topic on addiction, the drug use in Sierra Leone.
Yes.
And I just want to give my 2 cents. So addiction is a disease, and the root cause of the problem is supply. So the government has to look at the supply. Where is these drugs coming from, and try to put a stop to that. You see, people will use drugs if they're idle, if they have nothing to do, if they have no work. They say idle hands, idle minds, and we should not just blame the youth and the young people about drug use. Drug use is universal. I'm an addiction specialist. That's what I do. I treat people who are addicted. It's a disease. It's a brain disorder. It's just like eating. It's just like having sex. It's just like having fun. It's just like it's something that it's a chemical. It's a chemical. It's a dopamine called dopamine surge in the brain that causes you to want to do it and do it and do it. And unfortunately, it leads to problems, to consequences. So I think the government has to step up. Otherwise, nothing we do or say will work. It has to be curbed. The supply has to stop from wherever it's coming from. And then we have to teach the public, teach the youth about drug use and ways to alleviate getting into problems with drugs. It's a big problem. It will not end tomorrow. That's just the fact. But it could be stopped. It could be helped. But we have to start from the government. There has to be a real talk about this nationally and try to come to terms with what is the cause and where these drugs are coming from. Otherwise, all we do and all we say is going to be moot. And on top of that, the guys are idle. There's unemployment, right? There's lack of economic economic poverty. So it's a big problem. But I'm glad you brought it up, and I will continue to keep on listening and possibly give my 2 cents whenever I can. Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Labor, much thanks to you. We'll greatly appreciate. I don't know if my co-host is. Can you hear me, sir? Dr. Labor?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Because the control room was saying muted. I don't know who they were referring. I think it's my co-host. But much thanks to you for calling. We'll greatly appreciate hearing from someone like you. We do want people who know what they're talking about and people with your type of training to sometimes listen and contribute to whatever the topic is. So you are most welcome just calling. Unfortunately, we are wrapping up, but you don't know how much I appreciate it. The other question I have for you before I go any further, are you from Sierra Leone or you just happen to be listening to this program?
I am a Sierra Leone.
Okay. Now, what I will ask of you, sir, if we bring this topic up again next time in the future, not for my sake, but for the audience's sake, what they say here, if you can break it down for us, because we want the audience back home to hear what you're saying and to just say it in Creole, if you don't mind, so we can let the people know dangers of drugs and all the ill effects of drug usage, drug addiction, and all of that. So, but we greatly appreciate your call. It just so happened that you called right at the end, so we don't want to belabor the point, but we're going to bring it up another time. So please, we hope we can count on you to be one of our audiences.
Experts,
and if you don't mind, if you can call us, if you can be an expert, if you can call us and leave us a number, we may even want you on the show to be a participant or a guest. So please, we welcome your participation and leave your number with us if you don't mind, please. We'll greatly appreciate it. Ms. Fatima, let me go back to you because the control room said.
My phone is page. We would love to have you on the show because this is an epidemic in our country, in our society, even here in America, because some of these people, and I asked the question, was this the cause of the war, the remnants of the war that happened in Sierra Leone, the remnants of the war? Because long time ago, people, even the community we live in here, when we were here before, I know times have changed, but when we were here, it's a different breed of people, it's a different behavior, it's a different way they look at life, all these drugs, all this stuff. People are still working and are still on these things and doing it and selling it and all that. But since I have you here today, sir, I just want you to do a public service announcement on this drug. If you can do it in Creole for us, because we want every Sierra Leonean, because we want the understanding of drugs, because we blame the youths. But I know it's an addiction. I know when the brain chemicals, the dopamine, the high, the stuff comes in, I know it alters your brain chemistry. So some people don't understand that. They think people want to stay addicted. And once you get there, it takes the grace of God for you to say, I'm sober, I'm 5 years sober, I'm 1 year sober, and when the environment is still the same. So just to our young people, to let them understand, if they have not started using drugs, to not go into that, because this is what, I just want you a 1 or 2 minute public service, 3 minutes, so we can, cut that up. And if you don't mind, we can share it on social media so our people can hear this. And because we're going to learn from the experts. We're going to learn. We want this change because this is an emergency in our country, in our society. So we just need you, since you're here, if you don't mind, just to give a quick PSA. So we're going to edit that section and we're going to share it if you give us the permission, sir.
Would you like it in Creole or in English?
I think you should do it in Creole because we want the Babona the village, the Mamina the village understand what you to say, because that's why we do our show in Creole, because we want people, because we broadcast in Freetown and some other places in Sierra Leone. So we want them to hear. When they do the broadcast, we want them to hear. But this one, I want myself, because mental health is a crazy thing, drug addiction and all that stuff. So I want to put these PSAs out there so we can flood social media with PSAs so people can learn. Because if we can save one life, if we can save one young man or one young woman from not going into it or help them get out of it, I think we have done service to nation. So that's what I'm trying to say here. I just want to use this opportunity, if you can help us, sir.
Okay, well, like I said, well, as I say, addiction a big problem. Addiction is a problem. Over here in the United States, it's a problem. England, Europe, it's a problem too. It's a problem outside, okay? So you ask yourself, say, whose side the problem starts? The problem starts from the people getting the drugs. Whose side the drug, then they come out. The drug not they grow, fall from the sky. Somebody is giving it to somebody, and then somebody is giving it to somebody else. Okay, so you say, well, how you go? First of all, what make you take the drugs, right? You need Padigini. I got it from a friend, right? Somebody gave it to me. Or peer pressure. I want myself one smoker, myself one try, myself one sniffer. Because they feel good. They say, I feel good. The only problems go. It make it like cloud nine. Feel high, feel good. Okay, so yes, you can feel good, but there's a reason, there's a consequence of the feeling good. Okay, so drugs are not good because then they affect other parts of your body. So you go take them, you can feel good, you can feel well, you can feel nice, you can feel high, you can feel relaxed. At the same time, they affect other parts of your body. Okay. So, and when you begin for take them, then unfortunately they continue for take them. So that is the problem, and nobody knows that problem. We're still working on it. The scientists are still working on that problem. What you make when you take the drug, you know say bad for you, right? You know say you're not good. You know say you're spending all your money on it. You know they eat right. You know they pay your rent. And your life you go backwards, you know the progress, but you continue for smoke the drug or sniff the drug or inject the drug. Why make you not go stop? That's $1 million question that we do not have an answer for. Why will not stop? What to make you go take the drug, you're not going to affect your body, but the other person go take the drug, you affect your body. That's another answer we need to find out. So drug use is a big problem. There's a lot of unknowns, a lot of things in there where the doctors and scientists don't know. They are taking it one day at a time. But the fact is, when you begin to take drugs, nobody know who that will get the addiction. You can take them. You will be okay tomorrow. You will be fine. You go stop. When you not get money, you not go see. You go say, okay, what the time I go try and back. When I get money, you don't pay me next time, I go buy more. But the other person not go think that. You go continue for taking. You go thief for buy more. You not go walk for buy more. You not go eat for buy more. Well, what thing they happen? You go be homeless. You go lost in place where they. In health go backwards because now all in health, other organs, the liver they get problem, the heart go get problem, the kidney go get problems. Okay, so that's now health they go down, right? You not go get job because you not go na job you high. Then go fire you. Then go sack you. So all that thing, now who that they suffer? You wife, you picking them, your family members are suffering. So addiction not a one-man problem. It's a problem that everybody around the person is also affected. So the fact of the matter is, I'll make it quick, the supply. Where are these drugs coming from is the $1 million question Sierra Leone has to ask. And of course, Sierra Leone has to answer. That's all I can say for right now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lebo. Thank you. And we look forward to have you on our show so we will talk more because this is an emergency. This is an emergency for we picking them, for we neighbor them, for we brother them, for we sister them. This is an emergency, like when Dr. Lebo said, not a one-grain person. When you begin for take drugs, members say you will affect your picking, you will affect your family, you will affect your neighbor, you will affect you self. So drugs not a good thing. If you're not beginner yet, not beginner. If you don't beginner, try for fair way where you go able for level. So thank you, Dr. Lebo, sir. God bless you.
And can I just say something else quickly? I don't know if it was
Yes,
your
sir.
show I saw it. there was a woman who was arrested because she had killed her child.
Yes,
Was it
sir.
that?
Yes,
True.
yeah, it was here.
I just want
Yeah.
to make another thing which we have to learn. That's a mental problem. Again, 90% of the time, that's a mental problem. So I hope that the authorities will work with the mental health system in Sierra Leone to be able to get that lady help. It's called infanticide. It's a problem. It happens. Postpartum psychosis, these are all scientific problems. She has to get help, not be locked up forever. I hope they will be able to get help. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank
All
you
the
for
best.
just putting the nail on the coffin and sealing it, because it's a mental problem, and I believe so too. Thank you very much. And so many people, we don't come to the end of the show. We want to thank every single Sierra Leonean. This is the voice of Sierra Leone, and every Sierra Leonean in voice matter. Nobody know the talk about Bishnoya. We just can agree for disagree. Your opinion, and they try for bringing you economy side, you they try for bringing chemical economy side, we they try for being in the middle, for try for push Salone go before. Because Salone we get boku problem. We all don't stuck in a people country. Some of we not able to go back because the environment is not conducive. You don't live now what they call, but we keep getting leaders after leaders after leaders. We don't try for bring the change, the necessary change. Where Sierra Leoneans will come. We have so many Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora, the brain drain of Sierra Leone. Long time, what we young people, then we go land book, then go back, not alone. Then go give back to country. We've not been perfect, but we've been get a good nation. We've been get middle class. People were doing. Now the poverty rate, because the neglect of governments, I put an S to it, that have gone on for years. This is the result. The chickens are coming home to roost. And we get for fix them, and we get for put people that we get humanitarian feeling. We get for help. We get love for people, love for human beings. Not only one day when they come make themselves rich and make their family or one status. So till next week, we follow them. The one day within YouTube, the one day within Twitter, the one day within Facebook. I tell you, thank you. Una all important. Una thank you. Go they come. But I want to remind you now of one thing. Because sometimes some people tell me, I don't get your notification no more. What when they come on? So everybody do when I go to the notification section, when I go put the notification bell on. So anytime we VOS day, when I go able for come. So people can say, oh, I not get notification. Go back there because Facebook does it sometimes. It kicks people out. It kick people out for whatever their reasons are. Then you go back to the notification bell, you press them, and then you push all where anytime when viewers come, when I go able to say we don't come now on online, so when I say go can join to the conversation. And one thing that they do now when assurance, I know say we come when they listen to me. I know that 110%, and they listen to us, they value us, but they know they do what they do, but they listen to me and they know say we voice matter. So when I thank you till next week again. When I go do something, go make a change, go be a change to somebody in life, positive change. You know, all this noise what they make among ourselves, all this hate. Let's bring back the spirit of 61, where we see with people them, the country people them, as long as the Creole them, everybody rejoice, the men, the Timini, the Limba, the Creole, Loko, Kranko, Yaloka, we all been there one, and anyone, Madingo, Fula, Gizi, all the one and cool, Limaloko, everybody been there together. Unalo we build that spirit they back. Unalo we bring, just like Keisha said, one spirit we go able for push we country go before. Till next week, I say, if I dey shine, not jealous me, go walk by yourself tomorrow. Like I can always say, the cloud go there over me, and the Sunday over you. So go work on yourself, man. I love you all. And remember, God is love. Also remember, no matter what you're going through in life, no matter what it is in life, always remember that the sun they shine, even when it's cloudy. The cloud not stop the sun, the sun. So the sun is always there. Keep pushing through what you're pushing through. Get help if you need help. And also, I want to make this PSA, public service announcement. If you are in the Washington, D.C. area, I just want to say the Salone for all, and a bunch of experts and a bunch of citizens don't decide for come together, and I'm one of the people in the group for come together for come educate with people, especially the parents first, because like I will say the on the 3rd of December 2022 now New Now, PG County, somewhere in PG County, I think Sebastian, Maryland, or somewhere. But when I can get to Zaina Bangura, when I can get to Mr. Dean and some other people there, I will put the flyer out, let una know say, or when I can get to me, I will connect you to the one day where they don't, I will send the flyer out, that on the 3rd, they're going to talk about mental health. We get experts, we get people them who they volunteer the time for try for educate with people them, because sometimes I say the mama and the papa and say broken, and if we not work, we're not able to fix the picking them up if we said work. So till next week, I love you all, and remember God is love. A salute for Dima. I'm out. Thank you. Mr. Sheila, to you, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much. You know, always call and make some valuable contribution. This, of course, this drug business seems to be a hot topic. Particularly drug usage, as we see with the Kush. We also see mental people then we in society we need some attention and treatment. And then we'll show video of this woman will and claim say. So we're so glad that Dr. Labor next week or this week and give you a number, and then we'll find out when it will be available so we can able to get some of the expertise on this subject matter. We also hope the government will listen, because we own problem is we know they consult the right people then for the problem. So we need somebody like Dr. Labor in kind way they deal with this particular aspect. We just don't need a doctor, because this is now an area of specialization. So we need more than just a doctor, because sometimes the mistake that they would make. You see, because you're a lawyer, they want to make you Chief Justice, they want to make you Attorney General, they want to make you trial lawyer. It doesn't work like that. So let's try to get people away know something about the subject matter. So again, I will greatly appeal to Dr. Labor for joining we or left a number so we will call them and ask them when we can get them on board. Until then, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for the wonderful contribution. Please stay tuned next week, same time. We will see and hear we safe again. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And I just want to say thank you to Mr. Al Cisse. Give us 530 stars. Thank you for your stars. That means that you appreciate we're not begging anybody, but we appreciate every little thing counts. That's why they have the stars, because everybody's doing it. So we said we will use that money there for do something better if we able get that for help other people. Then also thank you for the stars, and Mr. Atotula say, Madam Fadima, thank you. She's always ready to talk. Let me show you one thing quick. I'm done. I promise I'm done. I get motivated, but when I hear intelligent people talk. That's me. My mind gets stimulated. That's why I try to be around intelligent people that can stimulate my mind, and then my mind they go on, and then the notes not able to set. So thank you all. I just wanted to let you know that that's just me. That's just who I am. That's what I am, just Fadima, simply Fadima. So thank you. But I can go and go and go. If I'm around intelligent people, I can keep going because you stimulate my brain. Thank you so much, and good night. Thank you.